Welcome to Financial Aid Information. Be sure to sign up for Remind by texting @SoHi and your class to the number 81010 or download the Remind app and sign up that way. Just a quick reminder, for timelines, there are specific things that you should be thinking about at each grade level. You can also find a customized timeline at collegeboard.com.
When we're talking about types of post-secondary options, just a reminder that there are a variety of them, and we don't just talk about college. If you look at our list, there are several that you can think about after high school. When you're looking at admissions, entering into college, some considerations would be the admissions requirements, programs offered, the size and location of the college in town, and we're talking about more specifically is the cost and financial aid.
The types of costs that you're going to encounter can be divided into direct costs and indirect costs. So the direct costs are your tuition fees and things that you're actually paying the university for. The indirect costs are other things like your room and board and gas and all that kind of stuff. Here's a breakdown of estimated undergraduate budgets. You can see what people are spending at a 2-year institution versus a 4-year institution, and so on and so forth with the private schools.
The cost of attendance is the total amount it will cost each year to attend college, such as your tuition fees, room and board, books, supplies, even transportation. This next slide shows you collegenavigator.gov, which is a great site if you want to look up a specific college, and it'll tell you the specific costs and break them down by direct and indirect costs.
The types of financial aid that you'll come across, just some terminology here. Scholarships are literally free money from companies like the Elks Club or the Coca-Cola or big companies, the electric companies, Tesoro, etc. But there's also loans that you would pay back, grants, federal grants and state grants. And also many people will work at their institution and get a decreased tuition that way. For your scholarship portfolio, make sure that you check Counselor's Corner and your Gmail for opportunities to apply for scholarships. Remember that each scholarship has its own application. Doing your scholarship portfolio doesn't mean that you've actually applied for anything. Make sure and check your Gmail and lots of different websites on Counselor's Corner, and make sure to apply for many different scholarships.
This page shows you some different websites you can go to. They're very helpful for your scholarship search. If you go to the next one, fastweb.com, it's a national site that'll give you scholarships from all over. You fill in a profile, and then it'll match scholarships that match your profile. On our next slide, you can see the one-stop portal. If you go there and then click on the scholarship database, those are all the local scholarships from around the district, and they're listed according to their due date.
So remember that we go into the classrooms and we use AKCIS, the Alaska Career Information System, which students can access through PowerSchool. Junior year, we do a college search or an undergraduate school search, and students are encouraged to compare different schools and in terms of their costs and things like that, and save that into their portfolio. And then also senior year, we do a financial aid sort. And students are encouraged to put in the specific criteria to come up with a list of scholarships that might be appropriate for them to apply for and save that in their portfolio. So there's lots of different places to find scholarships.
The Alaska Performance Scholarship is offered to students if they're staying in the state of Alaska, and this also includes career tech schools, not just four-year universities. Make sure that you're eligible. You should talk to your counselor, or you can check on PowerSchool. It's listed as your APS checklist, and if you click on there, this will pull up and it'll show you whether you're eligible. You can see there's 3 different levels, and it's based on your GPA, your test scores, and specific curriculum that you need to take. For WUI, the Western Undergraduate Exchange, this is available in 16 different states, and then what is great about WUI is that if you're a resident of WUI state, which you are if you live in Alaska, you would apply to the institute and you have to meet the WUI requirements. But basically, this is reduced non-resident tuition to residents that are in the West studying and you're from out of state. It's available in over 150 institutions. You'd be paying 150% of in-state tuition, so it would be a huge cost savings if you're out of state. Double check the application process because sometimes it varies. Don't assume that because you've applied to a school that is a WUI school that you've met the WUI admission. So make sure and check if you have a specific application that's separate, and double check your deadlines. And remember that each school determines their own academic requirements, and some high demand majors might not offer WUI. So again, double check with the college itself.
The FAFSA is the free application for federal student aid. Everyone has to fill out the FAFSA online at fafsa.gov. Even if you don't think that you're going to qualify for any federal funding because of your income, you still have to fill it out. Filling out the FAFSA also qualifies you for Alaska Performance Scholarship and many other things, but all your colleges and institutions are going to require you to fill it out. Make sure that you're on fafsa.gov and not any other website that is asking you to pay a fee or anything like that. Those websites would be a scam. You're going to be on a .gov website and there's no fee. It's literally free money from the federal government, so there shouldn't be any application fee. It starts October 1st based on your prior year tax information, so you're going to use your 2017 tax information. You'll need your Social Security number for you and your student, and all of that tax information and bank statements, things like that. You have to update it every year, and you have to fill it out for Alaska Performance Scholarship, many different loans, and some scholarships within your institution. There's lots of videos on the Federal Student Aid YouTube channel, very, very helpful information. And so after you fill out the FAFSA, you will find out from the federal government, you'll get a student aid report, a SAR, and it'll tell you what you qualify for based on your family income. It'll give you your EFC, which stands for Estimated Family Contribution. And that SAR that you get is not an offer of aid. It's just basically telling you what you would qualify for. You'll also find information from the state about different state grants and loans and Alaska Performance Scholarship and all that kind of stuff. And then your institution will get it, and they may require a verification if you don't use the IRS data retrieval tool, and that doesn't mean that you did anything wrong. It just means that you have to fill out some extra forms and go through the verification process. And then finally, you'll get your award letter from your institution that includes all of the things that you qualify for in terms of scholarships, loans, and aid. It's negotiable. It doesn't mean that you have to accept any of it at all. It's just telling you what you qualify for. You can also check your eligibility as you go through this process in the Alaska Student Aid portal. So here's what their website looks like. And again, I can't stress enough to make sure that you're on the .gov website and that there's no fee involved at all when you fill it out. It should take about 30 minutes, 40 minutes if you have all of your documentation.
When you're looking at federal grants, some examples of ones that will come up will be the Pell Grant, which is need-based, and listed on the PowerPoint you can see some of the requirements for full-time versus part-time student. You also have to remember if you receive this grant, you have to return or maintain, what's called SAP, which is Satisfactory Academic Progress. Another grant is called the Teach Grant. If you're interested in a career in teaching and the more specifics, I would look that up online. And the last one we wanted to mention is called the Federal Student Educational Opportunity Grant. And this is for Pell eligible students. They take priority, but it is limited funding and it's not available at all schools. For state grants, common one is called the Alaska Advantage Education Grant. It's in-state and it's needs-based. And again, you have to must maintain the SAP. And there's priority fields that are given, and that's the health sciences, social service, teaching, and process industry. For loans, looking at federal is needs-based and subsidized direct loan and Perkins loan, and that means no interest until 6 months after graduation. This is versus non-need-based loans. You're looking at the federal unsubsidized direct loan. The interest collects at the time of loan acceptance. So some examples of those would be the Federal Direct Plus Loan, the State Family Education Loan, the State Alaska Supplemental Education Loan, etc. And also your bank. Some other financial help to think about are the American Opportunity Tax Credit, and the specifics are listed underneath, the Lifetime Learning Tax Credit, and also we wanted to remind folks that there can be deductions for certain expenses when your student's going off to school. If you're interested in knowing what tax write-offs would be appropriate for going to school, check the IRS publication 970 and to look at repayment based on income and loan consolidation.
So the process is you fill out the FAFSA. The award is offered. You can accept parts of it, decline parts of it, possibly even negotiate with your institution. You may want to get some loan counseling from your banker or from your financial advisor. And then eventually you'll sign your promissory note agreeing to certain loans and things like that. And then you go to college.
Some financial aid myths that we wanted to bust, and we hear often. A lot of students will say, I don't have a 4.0, so I won't get any scholarships. That is not true. Many scholarships are not academic based. They're looking more at your activities or what you're going into. Also, my family's income isn't low enough to qualify is also incorrect, because often there are many scholarships that aren't based on money. My parents have already saved a lot for my college education, so we won't get any aid. That is not true. And I would say if you have a student that's tried for a scholarship prior and they didn't get anything, to try again. And they can also come to the counseling office and touch base with us about that. Also, we hear a lot is my older brother and sister wasn't eligible for financial aid last year, so I won't be either. And that isn't true because, well, you know, you're now in college, so you're another number, and they're having to pay for two people to go to college. So that kind of changes the picture a little bit. Also, I hear students say, I'm only going to college part-time, so I'm not eligible. There are scholarships that are available if you're going part-time.
Last but not least, we wanted to plug some upcoming events. We have a FAFSA completion workshop with the help of the financial aid department at KPC. They'll be coming over here twice to do a workshop. So if you have difficult financials or joint custody or anything that you feel like you want to have help with, bring your tax information to the school on October 8th, which is Monday, and November 27th, which is a Tuesday, 6 p.m. in room 24, the Distance Ed Lab, and we will have expert help on hand to help you get through the FAFSA. Usually people are in and out in 30 to 40 minutes, and they've got their FAFSA completed and submitted. Also, we wanted to plug the 6th Annual College and Career Fair, and it is actually going to be at Kenai High School this year. On October 16th. From 10 to 1, it's open to the public. We are taking a bus over. The bus will leave at about 9:30, but you're welcome to attend at any time also. It's open to the public 10 to 1. Finally, we have a field trip on December 7th where we're going to go up to Palmer and Anchorage and visit some programs, Northern Industrial Training. We're going to visit Job Corps, Trendsetters School of Beauty, and Alaska Career College. And that will be a very long day, but permission slips are available in the counseling office and on Counselor's Corner. We want to thank you for attending, and please let us know if you have any questions. Reach out to us. Here's our contact information. Reach out by phone or email, and we thank you for attending. Have a great day.